Everyone, this is Shinomiya here, and today I have yet another new one-shot. I don't believe I've done any Kiss Him Not Me anime one-shots before on my channel or in general, which is kind of surprising because I actually really like this anime and manga. But I kind of thought that this one-shot would not just be a bit of a break for myself because I remember watching the anime the other day and really enjoying reading it or watching it, and I said, oh, well, I'll make a one shot for it. And yeah, that's exactly what I did. Um, and Shinomiya and Mutsumi are my favorite characters from that anime. But I kind of decided that it would be cool to make a one shot book for them on Wattpad while I decide what to make the next character star my channel would be. So I don't know which character I'm gonna choose right now. I just know that I'm gonna choose a character from some anime or show that I've been meaning to write for. I'm kind of torn, but either way, I'm gonna make the decision eventually. But until then, I wanted to do a jealous Shinomiya because there's no jealous Shinomiya stories out there that I can find. So it's like I'm gonna start it then, and this is a gender neutral reader, so it's good for all you guys, gals, and non-binary pals. And I should mention that in this particular one shot, a dog is probably one of the main characters. So if you don't like dogs, you can replace it with a cat or any other animal that suits your fancy. If you don't like cats or dogs. But anyway, the name of this one shot is just simply titled You're Cuter. And without further ado, let's get started. Your name walked down to a simple house on a neighborhood strip. As they approached the door, they rung the doorbell. But on the other side of the door, your name heard a lot of ruckus from what sounded like a dog and their boyfriend Shinomiya. When the door finally opened, he was holding back a dog as he tried to play it cool. Hey, sorry about him. He gets kind of aggressive when he... Your name immediately rushed over to the dog and hugged it. Shinomiya was a bit stunned that they were such a big dog person. But given the way they were laughing from the dog's looks and the way they kissed the dog on top of the head, it was obvious. Shinomiya couldn't help but feel a little placeless in the doorway. He huffed a little and grabbed your name by the hand, leading them up to the room. You never told me you had such a cute dog, your name said with joy in their voice. Shinomiya felt this just a tad bit more than he would like to admit. Eventually, your name and Shinomiya decided to watch a movie, so they decided to watch favorite movie. As the movie progressed, they both inched closer and closer together. And eventually, your name decided to be bold and lean their head on their boyfriend's shoulder. He tensed up a bit, but he relaxed it despite the fact he felt so nervous. Despite the fact that he felt so nervous, he decided to pull your name into his chest and tangle their legs together. But not long after that did they both think of something. See, your name and Shinomiya had yet to have their first kiss. Shinomiya couldn't help but wish for tonight to be the night they changed that fact. It seemed as though your name had agreed with that train of thought subconsciously as they shifted their head to look up into his gorgeous eyes. Both of them were blushing so brightly it practically burned. Right as they were leaning into each other, the door burst open and a certain dog ran into the room. The dog went straight for your name and stepped on both of them, and your name stepped on both. The dog stepped on both your name and Shinomiya just so the dog could give more kisses. Your name laughed loudly. Meanwhile, Shinomiya was attempting to push the dog off and away from them. Eventually, he succeeded. He shooed the dog out of the room and out the door, and he shut it and locked it for extra measures. Your name was still coming down slowly from their laughing fit, but they eventually stopped. But they noticed something. Alright, what's with that face? What face? Shinomiya said defensively. Whenever you get jealous, you make that pouty face you're making right now. Your name said with a distinct smirk. Shinomiya felt a small sting in his pride. He popped down next to your name dramatically as he pouted, not daring to look them in the eye. Your name laughed a tad bit, turning his face to face them. You're cuter than a dog. You know that, right? I'm not cute. They cut him off by kissing him gently on the lips. It was brief, but Shinomiya was not about to let that moment end that quickly. As your name began to pull away, he grabbed them by their face and pulled them back into a slightly sloppier kiss. Your name moaned a little in response. Your name was at one point pinned down onto the bed, and Shinomiya pulled away from their lips so he could give them soft kisses on their cheek and neck. Your name laughed slightly at the sensation tickling them. At least Shinomiya knew that your name would never leave him for his dog. Hopefully. The end. I thought, funny enough, as I'm reading this story, my dog is looking at me very questioningly at my, right next to me. She's staring right at me, and she looks very confused. So there's that. But I'm actually pretty happy with how this story turned out. I know that some anime characters really hate being called cute, but I think that just makes them cuter. And Shinomiya is adorable. Adorable. So anyway, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this little story. I think the next story I'm going to make for Kiss Him Nami, the next time I write for them, will actually be a shipfic where the reader is not involved and instead it's two characters from the show ship together. Because I realize I've never actually done that before, and I think, well, what better way to start than with with a Fujoshi's favorite anime. Either that or maybe I'll do Beastars or something. I'll figure out the details later. But either way, I really hope all of you enjoyed this video, and as I continue to say, I know I need to think of something for the 6,000 subscriber milestone, but I will intend on thinking of something, and I really genuinely do adore you guys for doing so much for me, because you guys have been there for me through the worst and through the best, and I will always love you for that. So anyway, guys, this is Friend of Murder, and I'll be seeing you all very